Well, joining us now is the Grand Poobah of the New England Cannabis Convention. His name is Marc Shepard. There's probably a CEO involved there as well. But more importantly, he's the guy who started NECANN 11 years ago, probably 12 years ago now, just because of the pandemic year. Marc, something we both want to forget about. But here you are back and stronger than ever because you're all over the country now.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we do shows in a lot of different markets. I think we're doing 7 this year, and we always obviously circle back to Boston. I'm from Massachusetts. That's where we began, and it's really a great way to kick off the convention season every year, and yeah, we're pretty excited for this year.
You know, everything goes back to sports with me. So to me, NECANN is like the Masters in golf. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Players' Championship is going on this weekend, to me, the golf season begins with the Masters. The convention season begins with NECANN. You know, there's a lot of doom and gloom in this industry right now. A lot of dispensaries are closing. It's very difficult. People are losing all their money and all this stuff. How have you found the atmosphere for sales and vendors, and are people just as enthusiastic about this as they were in the past?
They are, and the reality is, and this isn't to minimize that it's difficult for individual people, but it's almost like, again, let's go back to sports at the beginning of, say, the NCAA tournament. There's 64 teams, right? Well, there's only going to be one winner, so for 63 teams, it's doom and gloom.
Right.
And that's maybe not the perfect analogy, but it's such a great opportunity that suppose there's space for 300 dispensaries in Massachusetts. Well, 1,000 people are going to try to have those 300. What does that mean? 700 people go out of business. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the industry. It means more people want in than the industry can keep afloat.
What's some of the biggest challenges do you see right now, besides what's going on with our federal government, before we turn it into a political discussion? What are some of the biggest challenges? Is it still access to capital? Is capital easing up a little bit as far as access goes?
I mean, obviously I'm an event guy, so it always feels strange to be talking about those things as if I'm an expert or they're happening to me. But just, anecdotally, as I talk to people, I think it's just the competitive crush. Like, honestly, if you're looking for capital now for a plant touching business in New England, you're getting in that race pretty late. And I can't imagine I don't know why you would feel it would be easy to raise capital, 9 years after stores started opening and there's hundreds of competitors. So I just think it's really the reality of, okay, I had my business plan, but maybe I didn't count on pricing wars as, you're fighting for your space.
Right, absolutely. And I think we're spoiled in Massachusetts too. That being said, we have a pretty vibrant adult use market and a medical market that is, let's say, adapting to the new reality. Your reality this year includes a social equity row. Is that what I read about? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, we've always, since day one, we've always made 10% of our floor space available. Way back, it was mostly nonprofits and advocacy groups because there were no social equity licensees, but that's slowly changed. We've never really named it or done anything formal. We've really just kind of behind the scenes donated the booths. When people call up and say, do you have any discounts for social equities? I'm like, yeah, you can have a booth. And so we've always done that, but I ran into Anthony from 40 Tons at MJ Biz, and he kind of has a nice setup. So I was like, hey, we have our local people that we do. We have space for more. So it was great to connect with somebody who's really, doing things and making a difference with money going towards helping people. And, he has his stack of social equity licensees. So they call it Justice Row, I think.
Like that.
And so, so that'll be nice. There'll be some information. The 40 Tons booth has a lot of information and ways that you can help and get involved. So just maybe shining the light a little brighter.
That story of 40 Tons is remarkable. I had a great interview with Anthony a couple of weeks ago. I look forward to seeing him and his wife and his best buddy now all involved in the industry, heavily involved and flourishing, like you mentioned. Those are the stories, Marc. that I like to tell, because it isn't all doom and gloom. There are plenty of people out there who are figuring out how to survive and kind of navigate through the challenges of regulations and no regular tax deductions, and they're still passionate about the cause. The cause keeps a lot of people going, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I think so. And a lot of people you see through all other industries, they're in the industry because they're passionate about what it is. Whether, most restaurateurs, chefs, they're very passionate about food, and that's what drives them, even though the restaurant industry is one of the most difficult in the world. And that's what you're seeing. The people that are like, no, I'm past thinking that I didn't do this because, oh, I'm gonna become an instant millionaire, this and that. They're like, this is hard work, but it's something I'm passionate about.
Exactly. It makes you look forward to going to work every day. That's what I look at anyway. Mark, what's a can't miss thing that you want to have? Make sure if you go to NECANN, you want to check out not just the 40 tons booth. There's quite a few other vendors. In fact, what is the box score of the vendors? What do you got there for numbers this year?
We're going to finish just under 300, which is about as big as I feel this event will ever be, when you're talking about the Northeast and whatnot. So we're excited about that. And, it's hard to pick the one thing. We have two or three things that are first time. For the first time ever, we hired a separate program manager to put together an incredible programming track both days on psychedelics. Jack Gorsland put that together. If you're into psychedelics at all or know anything about it, check out that programming. It's really incredible, the level of experts and panels that Jack put together. So that's all day, both days. We have the ladies from Blunt Brunch. We're flying them in and having them host the Women's Lounge for the entire convention, both days. They've got 2 days worth of programming and networking going on in the Women's Lounge. That's a first time for us. And then on the NECANN Cup stage, which is Saturday, and we had over 500 entries into the NECANN Cup this year, so that's huge. But we're going to use that stage on Friday. We gave that to the Good Life Gang and Weird Brains people who do some incredibly just unique and fascinating programming of their own. So that stage will be in the exhibit hall in the lounge area, and they're going to have sessions there all day on Friday, and that's new as well.
How is one person going to cover all this? That's what I'm kind of challenged with this weekend.
Yeah. You got to get that 2-day pass and get there early.
And it's March 20th and 21st at the Heinz Auditorium in Boston, Massachusetts. Marc Shepard is the head of it all, kind of the founder and the guy who makes it all work. And I appreciate everything that you've done. And you know how special NECANN is in the growth of pro cannabis media and myself in this industry. I'm now 7 years in.
Wow.
We survived.
Crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
Well, that will do it for this week's Cannabis Coast to Coast News. Elena Pinto will be back next week. I'll be at NECANN in Boston. So if you are going to attend and you're interested in getting your company on our show special, we release that the following week of NECANN. Just contact me. My email address, it's jimmy@procannabismedia.com. Until then, remember, it's a whole new world of weed out there. Consume it responsibly. For now, I'm PCMTV founder Jimmy Young. Have a great week.
I think I messed up. Did you know there's a place that covers all the cannabis news you need? Welcome to Pro Cannabis Media, your go-to for all things cannabis. PCM is the CNBC of weed, bringing you the latest news and talk shows with a twist. We've got 16 state correspondents and multimedia journalists from around the US and Canada.
Hey everybody, it's Brandon Jones with Be Green Distribution with the Missouri Cannabis Report.
I'm Karen Black from Green Finger Consulting with the Arizona Cannabis Report.
I'm Amy Carter from Michigan Weedsters.
Andrew Behringer here reporting from Washington, D.C.
Debbie Fazy with the Canadian Toke of the Week.
It all started back in 2018 when founder Jimmy Young kicked off the In the Weeds podcast. His mission? Documenting the fight to end cannabis prohibition. Fast forward to today and we've got Cannabis Coast to Coast with Elena Pinto, delivering the nation's only TV-style cannabis news show.
Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Cannabis Coast to Coast, PCMTV's weekly roundup of industry news from California to New York. I'm Elena Pinto.
As of August 2024, PCM has racked up over 1.2 million views and 14.5 million impressions on our YouTube channel. With 15,000 subscribers and growing, our reach is spreading like wildfire. PCM's website, YouTube, Rumble, Discord, Roku, Twitch, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and even our very own PCMTV app. Get your cannabis news fix with Pro Cannabis Media. We're here to keep you informed and entertained. Stay tuned and stay lifted.